say really quick, there's a guy with a backpack in front of me and it says Reliance Matrix, and you know, it would be like, that would be like the most obvious form of an orchestrated life, and people relying on the Matrix per se to be supported. I mean, in general, people are forced to sort of get jobs in certain places and all that kind of stuff. I guess everybody relies on the Matrix to some extent, but to have a backpack that actually says Reliance Matrix, yeah. So. Also, it's Wednesday, 25th, and we're having a little bit of rain here this morning, and of course, I'm wondering how rainy it'll be over the next week or so. A lot of rain. Headed into Florida there with Hurricane Helene or whatever. So anyway, that was interesting. It's raining up here. I didn't know it was going to rain today. There were days last week when I thought it was going to rain and it never did. So we're headed up 17th Street North. This is Market Street, which goes east towards City Hall. City Hall's down there, the sort of bulldogish looking creature, if you will. They're redoing this building here. They're going to become, or they are being renovated to be, luxury apartments. Dry bar. Blowouts. What's so funny is the building itself looks like it was blown out. Like, if you were to look, you know, from above these shops, and you can see it from Comcast, all the windows are out because they're installing new windows to make it more appealing as a residential building. And it looks like it's been blown out. So Dry Bar has all kinds of things. Before they had the signage up that they were turning this building into a luxury apartment building, there was a sprinkler problem, and the flood, like water was like flooding out. And you can see water dripping all over the Dry Bar and everything. And it's like it's almost like people having too much fun while wasting resources. But I didn't want to put too much of a damper on it, but it is kind of funny that it looks like it's blown out, as if there was, you know, if we ever have any weird raids or anything, riots or what have you, this building could look like something happened to it when really it's just a renovation. You know what I mean? Like, that would be staging at its best, worst, however you want to look at it. Anyway, so they will leave it like this, blowouts. The Dry Bar, funny. You know, it looks like something exploded in the building, and they'll leave it that way until everything settles down, you know, and make, you know, in case they need it to look good for, you know. That's how I see that. I don't love this sidewalk. This is technically private property, supposedly, or I don't know how it works. Alright, it's not too slippery, but this is Comcast over here. Is Comcast Center 1. Comcast Center 2 is directly west of it. And they have heaters or heated sidewalks, so when it rains, snows, and sleets, these sidewalks will heat up The only problem I have with heated sidewalks is there's that transitionary period, and they still get slick. Ew. They still get slick, and it's like, it's never perfect, you know what I mean? It's almost better to let snow just pile up and let it melt naturally, not to be a damper on the technology. It's really awesome that you can do that, but there's still a slick transitionary period. It doesn't really totally 100%. You'd have to come along with like a Ouija or what have you and like keep wiping away the melting sleet. But you see what I mean? Most people, even weathermen and weather women and people, say like, you know, avoid the slick spots, you know, everything's transitioning, you know, the melting and this, that, and that, and that's when it's the slipperiest, when things are melting. So also, these posts here were put in within the past year, like 9 months to a year. In preparation, I wondered, for the election year, in case Philly does its usual show of protests and potential riots, depending on how, you know, how tempered the city is. It's been a lot quieter, I think, since the pandemic. The city used to have tons of protests, like almost daily. Like something would be going on. Somebody would, you know, rally people together or orchestrate or organize a protest in some fashion to argue some point. But since the George Floyd trial, and I moved in